I spent hours on crypto Twitter, so you don't have to. Here's what's happening. Another blockchain-focused company just did a public equity issuance on-chain. The company Figure is following in the footsteps of Gemini. The rough theory is there are two ways to get stock exposure that trades on a blockchain network. Way number one is what I've talked about quite a bit. It's this idea of taking an existing stock that trades on traditional finance rails, holding it in a pool, and then putting tokens that represent that ownership on a blockchain network. Way number two is to skip the whole traditional finance thing in the first place and use a blockchain network as the ledger of issuance. Figure did just that. Figure is by no means a household name, but it's also not a nobody. I've heard people talking about their HELOC or home equity line of credit product, and it had already IPO'd. But I'm not really talking about this to explain or bring attention to Figure. There are two things I found interesting here. First, this concept of doing a stock issuance directly on chain. Skip the whole traditional finance system, including DTCC. Second is that the way they did it kind of made me roll my eyes. They did this on their own blockchain network, and the trading of this tokenized stock, at least from what I could find, is limited to Figure's own app. To me, it feels sort of antithetical to the whole point of blockchain technology. I'd love to hear from folks more familiar with Figure or its thinking patterns here. But my quick reaction was thinking this is just a marketing gimmick for their app. Supposedly some people want to buy Figure's equity. The direct issuance onto a blockchain network catches some attention from crypto journalism organizations, but then they find out they can only buy it on Figure's app. That drives downloads and usage. The version of tokenized stocks that's most captured my attention is a very different one. The whole point to me would be to have something that trades on a neutral public infrastructure like network with built-in self-custody potential. The idea then would be you can pick any interface of your choosing and get 24/7 real-time settlement access to basically every asset in the world. So this Figure news kind of left me scratching my head. Time to go find out if there's more than meets the eye.